Hello, my name is Michaela O'Connor Abrams, founder of Mocha Plus. Welcome to our Collective Conscience series. We created this series for you to bring together great minds from around the world on myriad topics that we hope will expand your mind, will challenge your current beliefs, and give you an opportunity to be inspired with every video. Enjoy.
What I want to show you, which is really fun, is Asian flavors. I've learned a lot about creating Asian food right from people who've lived it their whole lives, and that's been an honor. We're going to make lettuce wraps. So it's something that you can make a lot of this. For those of you, one of the things you want to do is bulk cooking and batch cooking. You can make a lot of this, and we're going to make this, we're going to put it into a lettuce wrap, but you can make it into a salad. You can do a lot with this. So let me get started. I'm going to turn on my Induction Hub. I'm a huge fan of electric kitchens. I take it over gas any day. I know, shocking. This is heating up through magnetic connection, and it goes very, very quickly, which I love. I've got ground chicken. I've got lime leaves. These are often called kaffir lime leaf, but I've actually learned that that's not the most flattering word. I call them Thai lime leaf. It's not the nicest thing to call, strangely enough, but these are available in freezer section of a lot of Asian markets. You don't have to have them, I get it, but they're pretty amazing, and you buy a bunch of them and keep them in your freezer. I've got sriracha here, lime juice, fish sauce, roasted rice powder, and lemongrass. See how fast? Hey, cook up the chicken, turkey. You can certainly do this with tofu or any not meat substitute. Cook this down till it gets finished up. It won't take long at all. Meanwhile, lemongrass. Very hard. You can also buy lemongrass paste. It's in a little tube. It's available in a lot of different places. What I like to do with it is cut about an inch off the bottom, really sharp knife. A lot of people's knives are really dull, and that's so dangerous. Cutting off quite a bit. Use a mallet. Smack this up. Inside, there's a little purple cheese. You peel all the way down. We're going to smack it up, and then chop this all up really, really fine. You can get this in a handy dandy little paste. Squirt it in there. I'm gonna chop this up, and I am an induction fan till the ends of the earth. It's just clean and fast and so controllable. I love it. What I'm gonna do is scoop this out of here, drain it a little bit. Now the next things I have, I'm gonna put it into this little bowl here. The lime leaves and the lemongrass really finely minced up. Put the warm chicken on top of that. I've drained the chicken, or it could be turkey, it could be tofu, whatever, letting that kind of infuse just a little bit. All right, let that cool. These Thai lime leaves, they're absolutely incredible. Just stem them a little bit like this. Take that center core out and fold them up and chop them really, really finely. You do just a quick little mince and then go back over that. More finely minced, the better. This is my shun. I know, I love it. A little close up. It's a Japanese knife, and I just love the balance. It's incredible. So I'm letting this cool, but yeah, my shun knife is my baby. Then I'm gonna go in with sriracha. There is lime juice, and I'm gonna add not all of it because I like to go back and taste. Same thing with my fish sauce. Now this is really fun. Da-da-da-da. This is roasted rice powder. What is it? Roasted rice powder. It's literally roasting rice, dry rice, roasting it up in a pan like you would do nuts, getting it all really dark and toasty, cooling it off, and grinding it up in a spice grinder. Awesome. It's rich and toasty and incredible. It's great to use for this. It's a wonderful toasty, nutty type of seasoning that you can start to use on a lot of things. Anytime I make Thai or Vietnamese type salads, I usually will sprinkle a little bit of that mysterious flavor on there. These are my herbs. I've got mint, cilantro, and green onion, really finely minced up. We'll mix this. and I'll taste it. Let me get some of this beautiful lettuce. So I can make these really little bitty like this for an appetizer, an app. And or you can, like I said, make just a big giant version of this. Just sprinkle it on a bunch of lettuce and call it a salad. It's pretty amazing. Again, I choose the lettuce cup that is sort of easy to pick up. If you make these as an appetizer, make sure your guests are able to avail themselves to it and not kind of pick it up and fall all over the place. That will not help. So I'm moving on to our next thing. So we wrapped, right? The lettuce wraps. And now this is really fun. So these are rice paper rolls. This is the rice paper wrap. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, they're really hard, but what you do is dip them in water. So we're going to make sort of a little burrito out of this. And the key with it is getting all of your stuff prepped in advance. And I put everything right here because invariably, if it's in little bowls, you forget stuff. You have what's called your mise en place. It means put in place. I have my noodles that are already softened and ready. There's all kinds of rice vermicelli noodles. I like ones that are in these little nests because then you don't have just this huge pile. When you cut into them, noodles go flying everywhere. Those are soaked in hot water, really simple. And then I season them a little bit of neutral oil and a little sesame oil, and they're right there. This is a butter lettuce that we used here. This is more of a red leaf lettuce. Just took the core out of that. So when we wrap it up, it's a little bit easier. I have cooked shrimp, shiitake mushroom. Definitely cut out the core. The core of a shiitake is very hard and inedible. Green onion, mint, cilantro, little bean sprouts, carrots. Take one of these little guys. These are fun working with kids because they have so much fun and they eat so many vegetables before they even know what happens. You want a very clean working space. And then I have a little bit of hot water in a bowl, soaking this, fishing it out, and then checking your surface. This is very porous. I might need to put a little bit of water down on it so it doesn't stick. Then I'm going to take my shrimp and working on the bottom third, like a burrito, put about 4 shrimp, and I like to put the pink side out. I'm just putting a little water. See, I'm seeing some sticking. Little bit of my noodles. This is a less is more type where you got to kind of put a little bit less than you'd think. Otherwise, it just explodes everywhere and then you eat that part. Little bit of lettuce, little bit of the shiitake, little bit of carrot, green onion, little pieces of mint. I break up the mint because it's pretty powerful. Couple of bean sprouts. This can have almost anything in it. You can add mango. I like to use roast duck. Roast duck and mango. Oh my goodness, I love it. Then, just like a burrito, you pull in your little sides here, and it wants to stick to itself, which is great. Pinching in, tuck and roll. Try to get this as tight as I can. You're gonna break a lot of them, doesn't matter. And then roll these up. This is served often with either a simple dipping sauce, kind of a chili vinegar, or peanut sauce, which I love. Beauty. I added in some purple cabbage. What's nice about sriracha is it's already in the handy dandy little squeezy chef bottle. So you can instantly, add some color to your plate. And then you can serve your peanut sauce on the side or drizzle it, fully understanding that many, many, many people are allergic to peanuts. So you don't want to sneak peanut sauce into anything, not a thing, but it's a lot of fun to have that. And these are good just like this too, so you can skip the sauce. You can garnish these with little herbs and all of that. The secret to these is really keeping these pretty damp. If you make a whole bunch of them and then they just sit, they're gonna dry out and you've done a whole lot of work for nothing. I usually will put them on a damp surface and then cover it with a paper towel. But the same thing, all of this can become a salad. I've done parties where people make their own appetizer and it's super fun, but you have to have everything prepped and ready beforehand, or you will make a lot more work for yourself.
There are so many ways in which you can make that recipe for you. You know, if
Yes.
there's things you don't like, you don't really love shrimp, then, you know, you can add other chicken, you can add other things.
I learned that, you know, I'm not going to be one of those chefs that's like, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way, there's one right way, one wrong way. Definitely you have to be safe, you have to cook with intention and hopefully love, and you have to be hygienic. Those are must-haves. But after that, I really learned from the youth to be really flexible. I just really try to encourage people to get in the kitchen, and I understand it's a lot of work and it's a lot to figure out. So hopefully this will help.
Is
Yeah.
there a recommended substitute for fish sauce if somebody is vegan?
Absolutely. Fish sauce is just a level of saltiness and umami. Umami being that quite famous now fifth flavor of savoriness. So this can be, it can be entirely left out, absolutely. Or you can do any types of sort of soy or tamaris. The goal is to make something really, really flavorful. So as you taste this, it's going to be quite powerful in its flavor. That way, when it goes on the lettuce, it's like very flavorful because the lettuce is pretty plain.
Which fish sauce brand would you recommend?
I like Red Boat. I don't know if Red Boat is available everywhere.
What are the temperatures of the induction hubs? What temperatures would you recommend?
Sure. So they can go from unbelievably low to screaming crazy wok searing hot, and that's, I think, something that not everybody is aware of now, is how high they can go. So the full gamut. What I do love is how controllable they are. I can turn it off, turn it on in moments, and I just love it. The one that I had there is from a company out of Napa, and it's called the Heston Q. And that one, I just use it as a regular pan, but it's actually app driven. If you want to have a great time and cook better during this unique time in life, get yourself one of those Heston Qs, and man, it is so fun. We use it at our house all the time, and I'm telling you, no one makes better pancakes than the team at Heston Q.
What variety of rice do you use for the powder? Would you recommend using for the powder?
And that's a great question. What variety of rice? Pretty much anything. White rice is usually what I've used. I've not used brown rice, but I can imagine it would be fine. You are, I've used arborio rice. I've used basmati rice. It's just creating this toasty powder. It's incredible. So yeah, have fun with it. Yes.
Do you have any additional recommendations for how to wash lettuce, even if it's pre-washed, or just how we might take some extra steps right now in this era to clean our green?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Well, as a private chef working in the home, I've always had to be hygienic times 1,000 because I'm literally cooking in front of people. They're right there. And so one of the main things I do is I buy from farmers markets. I buy from these amazing places that I bring everything home, and I wash everything right then and there. So just like in a restaurant, I mean, Drew, you probably know this, you get all the produce in and you wash and dry everything. For me, if I go into my fridge and I got to wash every single carrot every time I use it, that would drive me nuts. So I take the produce, I dunk it in like cool to lukewarm water, kind of swish it through a couple times. You can even use your salad spinner and kind of swish it around and spin it in there, then take it out and then dry it in your salad spinner. So it's kind of like a little washing machine. I do it like that. And then I put everything in my clean fridge drawer with just a little bit of paper towels. I don't keep everything in those slimy like plastic bags. And I wash everything. And that way, when I go into my produce drawer, it's all washed and dry and ready to go. Otherwise, it would be just, food is a lot of work. Cooking is a ton of work. So I try to make things a little bit easier. So does that help? You don't need to add any additives or anything. People aren't getting virus from food, but you always have to be super clean with cooking anyway, because it's going into people's body.
How long would that last? Are you saying we really need to cut it and, when you're covering it with a damp towel, almost like you do with phyllo, right? To make sure it doesn't crack?
Yes.
What about storage? Is it really not anything you would suggest you do in the refrigerator?
That's a really good question. I have made them a day in advance and wrapped them really well. A lot of times you get them from the Vietnamese restaurants and they make them way in advance. If you're new at making them and new at storing them, I wouldn't make them way ahead, because again, you'll do all this work and then find out that they're just all stuck together. But yes, I would say I would do them pretty much then and there. You can make them ahead of time, probably a day ahead, and just wrap them really, really well. That's just your key.
And wrap them, though, in the damp paper towel so that it stays, right?
And then plastic on top of that, for sure. Yep. Otherwise, it'll be really tough.
Somebody has a question about peanut sauce. Which do you recommend?
It's really about testing it. When I go to some of the markets that I go to, there's like 10 of them. You just want to find one that doesn't have a lot of crazy, funky ingredients that you can't pronounce. You can make a big batch of peanut sauce and keep it for quite a long time in your fridge. I gave a really great recipe. It's really pretty easy, trust me.